No, look at this. Books. Psychomania? Yeah. This is a pretty unique VHS case, I'll tell you. The seventh Simpsons episode. So you just want to record this because Beetlejuice, fucking Beetlejuice. This was my childhood. Everything I had was like recorded on tapes. SpongeBob SquarePants, Sponge Guard on duty. Let's go. We're gonna go potty. It's really kind of cool. But everything I had when I was a kid was, all of it was on VHS. So it was kind of fucked up. Good morning, Team Breaker! Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to go back there because I plowed it wrong. So there's this really cool phrase going around that I wish I had coined because I'm super jealous. This is so smart. It's called TORTANIC. So many people are coming out of the woodwork just a month after the game has been released. Pretty much, the parroting isn't really the word, but in agreement with me on the game. And there's, first of all, the person who coined TORTANIC, apparently they're a member of the MMORPG.com forums, and they had the same exact problems with SWTOR that I had. You get just so many people are now popping out of the woodwork saying the same shit I was saying back in like, when did I beta SWTOR? Early December? Like the first week December? It doesn't have, there's so much that it lacks. Just so much that it lacks. Whoa, shit. like how my slippers lack any sort of grip, because I'm not wearing shoes. Wearing slippers out here in a slippery ass ice, it's like not wearing shoes. It's like playing SWTOR. It's missing so much. For example, one of my biggest gripes with SWTOR, there's no grouping. There's no looking for group tool. You know, there's no, hey, I want to do this dungeon. Set me up in a queue. It ain't in the game. They'll probably put it in later, but come on, this is something that the game should have had at launch. What really pisses me off are all of these, and they've been talking about this too, this has been exposed that all these professional game reviewers were basically bought off to give SWTOR like all these crazy huge numbers in their reviews, like, oh, just tell everybody it's a great game. And I guess it has something to do with Mass Effect 3. BioWare was going to give everybody a special swag Mass Effect 3 thing. They were going to have access to it. They're going to get it really early so that they could review it. You're like, oh, like fucking a month before. And I guess that was the big deal. They were just saying it's this really great game when it's not. Ignoring flaws in the game, ignoring I mean, sometimes just ignoring things that BioWare said their game was going to be about. There was a guy, I remember watching a video clip of a guy who had worked on SWTOR, and he had said something like, we want you to feel really heroic. And in previous MMOs, what you do is you get a bunch of people together, like 10 plus people, and you all beat up on one big boss. But that's not all that heroic, and we want to do a little bit different in our game.
One of the problems of other MMO combats is that you often have scenarios where you have multiple heroes beating on a single enemy, and that just isn't very heroic.
The shit you say about your game that makes it fun doesn't exist. I think personally, remembering what I've said, I think I said it best. they didn't study MMOs in general, and they didn't study WoW to see how to make a better game. And I think the biggest complaint that people are having about SWTOR, it's a BioWare game and a Star Wars game. So it should be far better than what it is, and it's not. The visual quality lacks. There is no target of target in that fucking game. It's the target of target. It's a pretty useful fucking tool. I mean, really, how do you play without that? And the fact that they have these flashpoints set up so early, and they're in different instances. If you're in instance Korriban 1, and you walk into dungeon, you don't walk into the same dungeon as other people, even if they're in your group. Like, how many millions of dollars went into making SWTOR? And the game is shit. It is fucking shit. And I'm dying in Terraria. It's probably just a goblin army. By the way, Terraria. Yeah, it's it's damn goblin army. Killing all my NPCs and shit. Hit H. It's gonna be the biggest waste of fucking money ever. Here's the things that SWTOR fans will tell you are great about their game. How many millions of people signed up for the game right away when it came out? You've got a couple million people playing your game. Great. It's a Star Wars game though, so a lot of those people aren't really gamers. I mean, what I mean by that, don't get offended, but what I mean by that is, a lot of the people playing that game never played an MMO before. They're playing it because it's a Star Wars MMO and they're like, what? There's a multiplayer online Star Wars game. I must play. And so they don't know how to compare their game to, say, WoW, an outdated MMO. And I'm being gracious by saying that. Because WoW's actually got stuff. And they'll say, like, look at how many people have quit WoW. Okay, but those people aren't quitting WoW for Star Wars. They're just quitting. They're just unsubscribing from the game because there's nothing to do. People naturally do that during, like, low peak parts of the game. Like, what's to do? Nothing. I killed Deathwing the first week. What am I gonna do? Nothing. Sure, if there was anybody to PvP with, Darmok-Tai or Darkspear, a lot of those guys moved on to Star Wars. And what I really fucking hate are the people and I'm not gonna, let me see if I can word this correctly. If you become offended by what I'm about to say and you're a Darmok-Tai member or you're a friend of mine and you play Star Wars, try really hard to understand that I'm not attacking any individual people, but you know who you fucking are, okay? What I really hate are the people who go, this game is really fun. The PvP is really fun compared to WoW. This is really fulfilling me for what I want. And in the back of their mind, they know it's a fucking shit game. And they're playing SWTOR so they can get views. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all for doing that. That's what we do. That's what we love. We make videos about games. If I had a level 50 right now, I would make a SWTOR video. I'd make a PvP video. I don't have a level 50. The guy who bought me the game, Andre, the guy who donated me SWTOR, quit. He fucking quit the game. And he was like 30. He couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle the fucking bugs, the shit incomplete design of the game. Just everything. It's a single player game. It is the most single player feeling MMO game. Unless you're PvPing. Let me say this about PvP. There's something to be said about games in which the PvP doesn't require you to actually play with your friends. Sure, it's cool to queue, solo, and play, but I play a warrior. Warriors can never successfully solo queue. So a lot of the time when I do, it's just not as fun. So I always bring friends with me. Even if they're not healers. Bring somebody else with you because it makes the game more fun to play. SWTOR is a game where you could solo queue your way to 50. And it's a fucking MMO. I have done more multiplayer in Terraria. Hold on, my health is a little low. I gotta press H. There we go. I've done more multiplayer in Terraria than I've done in, say, World of Warcraft in the last month or so. But that's just because WoW is boring, you know. And I don't blame anybody for not playing WoW. I mean, there's nothing to fucking do. But don't be an idiot and sit there and say, well, people are unsubscribing from WoW and they're going to SWTOR. No, they're not. Here's the fact, all right? Now, I can say these things. Here's a little bit of me being a brash asshole, but I can say these things because I've played WoW for 6 years. I played EverQuest for 5 years. I know what makes a good MMO, and I know what makes a shit MMO. I can spot these things, and I'm pretty proud of that. Because MMOs are a growing market of genre. Guild Wars 2 will crush SWTOR and World of Warcraft. Guaranteed it. And you can fucking quote me. Just make sure you link back to my channel. But remember, Guild Wars 2 will crush them both. Because Guild Wars 2 will give the players what they fucking want. Period. If you want me to talk more about what I think Guild Wars 2 is going to give you over what WoW gives us and what SWTOR gives you, I will. Just leave a comment. I can talk to you about Guild Wars 2 all day. I know everything. Not everything. I know most of what I think is prudent about Guild Wars 2. A lot of the stuff that I don't know about Guild Wars 2 is what like Guild Wars 1 people will tell you. They're like, well, Guild Wars 2 has this and that's like Guild Wars 1. See, that kind of shit I don't care about because I didn't give 2 fucks for Guild Wars 1. The game was subpar, but they gave a shit. It's like how League of Legends is a good game and it's fun and engaging because Riot gives a fuck, even if you don't like the Pig Rider girl. Sejuani, or whatever her name is. I can never remember her name. I mean, she's hot, but she rides a pig. And she's a troll. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way. TORTANIC. I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit. On that note, anybody who PM'd me about leveling my character for me, you need to PM me back. Because if I had a level 50 in that game, I'd be playing it. And I'd make videos about it. But you wouldn't see me going, oh, this game is so good. Cool? Cool. And to everybody, are you okay? Are you okay? She's just started freaking out. Are you okay? She's like all attentive. You're alright, no, you're fine. But to everybody else, I'll see you in Guild Wars 2. You know what I love the most about Guild Wars 2 though? In this whole World of Warcraft community, right? And then the adjacent merging Star Wars community, you have all these, our game's better, no, our game's better, no, our game's better, no, our game's better. But what you can't argue with is this. You can't argue with a good game. You can't argue with something that gives you what you want, visually appealing, and it fucking pulls you in. You cannot argue with that. And guess what? When you start playing Guild Wars 2, because your ass is like, you fucking know a good game when you see it, and you want to play a good game that gives you features and fucking production quality. Try really, really hard to rip your Velcro ass off of that SWTOR game. Try really hard, because you're going to be pretty much stuck to it for a long time. That's it. I gotta hit H again because I'm almost dead. I can't get my NPCs to come back. I gotta look at the Wikipedia. Oh, look at that, the Department of Justice website's down. Nice. Yeah. I'm curious if there are alternate endings to the game. I really tried keeping the vlog short for today. That ain't gonna fucking happen. This is a daily vlog. That means there's a vlog tomorrow. Click the annotation in the top right. See the next vlog. Sorry guys, no games. I'm thinking Monday. If I don't get an email tomorrow, it's probably Monday. Don't forget about junk and stuff and things. Keep your eyes on the sky and in the internet. And get crit. Team break!